Yo, 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 how's it going, peeps? Welcome back. Today I want to talk about a couple of little things. One is my Bitchute channel. Now, I recently came across this artist, Stanislaw Szukalski, and I don't know how I missed him, because he's not exactly unknown, but I got a comment on one of my videos. It's quite an interesting comment, so went to see what the guy's YouTube channel was all about, and he'd done a video about obscure artists, and one of them was this guy, Szukalski. And it just blew my mind, because I've independently come to the same conclusion that he had, that Yetis are mankind's greatest foe, and they are the cause of all mischief and calamity throughout history, and they are the downfall and the enemy of mankind. And we both come to that conclusion completely independently, just based on the evidence. So that's amazing, and I could find a really good video about it on this channel on YouTube. Not YouTube, Bitchute. YouTube hasn't got anything. It's got a few rather sort of jokey, mocking videos, but Bitchute is a bit better. It's got this one. And then, I looked up Zermatism, which is his it says a pseudoscience invented by Stanislaw Szukalski. There's plenty of people just knocking him and saying he's completely mad, but the guy wasn't mad. He was a total genius, and he was completely correct about it. Absolutely, completely correct. Anyway, I've ordered his book. It's called Protong, and I'll let you know what that's about. I wanted to interview somebody who's an expert about this guy, but they don't seem to be that forthcoming. I think the information is so sensitive, basically, that people fear the consequences. But it's out there, and I shall do a video when that book arrives. I'll do a review or something like that, a reading, a synopsis. Okay, I'm going to make sure that all my best videos are up on here. The ones you need to watch are going to be up here. So we've got the Real Pan's Labyrinth. Now the one that got me in trouble on YouTube recently was the Real Pan Pipes, How We All Got Played. I would like everybody to watch that. Some good info there. Pretty good stuff up there, all my best stuff, I hope. These two, I think, got banned. 2,500 years of mind control and the plan to take over the world. They're banned off YouTube, I think, so check them out. From what I can gather, Szukalski believed that these apes, the gorillas, the chimpanzee, the bonobo chimp, had been raping human women back in the day, and the hybrid offspring had taken on a life of their own, become these yetis. And it sounds impossible. I'm sure it does to a lot of people. But I happen to know that crossing between humans and apes is possible. It depends on what type of humans, different races of humans. They're genetically different. The structure of their DNA is different. This has all been hidden by modern science, but it is a fact. And some of them can actually produce offspring. Occasionally, it takes a lot of attempts. It can be done with other creatures like apes. If you want to know more about that, then I suggest you look at Eugene McCarthy's website. This is Eugene McCarthy. I spoke to him a couple of years ago, called him, and had a few very, very interesting conversations with the guy. And his website is absolutely mind-blowing. He's at University of Georgia, and he's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant guy. He's a world expert on hybrids. And he just look at his website, go through all the different types of hybrids, and you put this together with Szukalski's work, and the whole thing makes sense. So yeah, this guy's the real deal. I mean, it's not a joke. I called him up and I said, look, I looked at your website. I thought it was a joke at first. I thought this is real sort of tongue-in-cheek, really very like dry humor. And then I started to think about it, and I read more, and I came to the realization this isn't a joke. This is real science. This is the real deal. And since then, this has all been corroborated by my further research. So check that one out. This guy's the real deal. I'd love to interview him on my YouTube channel, but I don't think he'd go for it. Because he's got a job at a university and all that. I suppose he has to be a little bit careful who he talks to. But it's all there on his channel. On his website. He's the real deal. So I went down to the woods today, and I went to a little bit of woodland, which is a very, very beautiful place next to a golf course. And there's a stream right at the bottom running right through the middle of it. I discovered this a couple of years ago. And there were, what initially attracted me to it was the fact that nobody seems to go through there walking their dogs. There are trails, but they're all deer trails. It's near Cannock Chase. And it's just hooching with deer. I mean, I would always spook the deer. They didn't expect anybody to be in there. And it's full of squirrels and all the birds and all that. So it's full of wildlife. And I saw a few structures that looked like teepee structures or very simple proto-structures. And they were built onto a barbed wire fence, which you wouldn't expect human beings to do, even kids. Can't see them making a structure on top of a barbed wire fence. So I thought this likely a Bigfoot has been attracted to this place. Never saw any footprints, of course, you never do. But I saw tons of deer tracks, and like I say, I saw a lot of deer. Anyway, I went back today, and I found a really impressive structure. It's the one you're looking at now. All the boughs, these branches, these sticks have been snapped. It's got this big bench outside, which is a feature of, it's like this is furniture, this or a bench. It's a feature I've noticed in a lot of these teepee structures. This big tree here, like a bench. So we've got a beautiful source of water, very clean water. And I noticed there's a kind of crossing place. A big tree or a big log has been put across the stream so that the boggart can cross without leaving any footprints in the mud. And I always look for those because I want to avoid getting my feet in the mud as well. So I always cross on those logs, and they are, I believe, put there by the boggart. And that's why we never find footprints in the mud, because I always look for footprints next to a stream or a water source, because that's where you'll see all the animals coming to drink. Look at the back of it. It's all been filled with leaf litter and just stuff that's been gathered up off the ground. But look at the top there. And all this has been woven in between these two trunks. See the way those have been piled down at the bottom? That is a style I've noticed in this here. There's larger chunks at the bottom. Larger logs. There's definitely a style that these things have. Now, this is a big trunk it's gone rotten, and it looks like somebody's been chiseling away at it, trying to get larvae or insects, maybe woodlice, out of it. And I thought maybe that was the squirrels digging into it with their little paws. But I found something later on which I'll show you, which makes me think that that isn't the squirrels at all. It's definitely a human type creature, a tool using creature. Down there you can see rhododendron bushes. I've climbed up the bank a bit. Down, we're looking down. There's the teepee structure. There's the stream, and all along the stream are thick rhododendron bushes where the deer hide. But I've noticed in a lot of these kind of places where these boggarts are found, they do like forests with rhododendron bushes for some reason. And rhododendrons, they come from the Himalayas, where the Yeti lives. So there's the golf course. That's how close we are to it. Yeah, somebody stomped on that, smashed it open. A rotten log. Rhododendrons everywhere. Very thick bit of thick bushes. Another large piece of wood placed over the stream so that they can cross without leaving footprints in the soft mud. And here you can see the soft mud where there's all the deer hoof prints. But you never see a boggart footprint because they use something like this big trunk here, this big tree, to cross. And that's what I use to cross as well, you see. Now here's another rotten tree trunk that's been chiseled and broken apart to get at the grubs and the larvae and the maggots inside. See how you can tread on all these trees and cross the whole area when it's muddy without leaving any footprints. There's a dead bird, remnants of a dead bird there. It's a pigeon or whatever. And those have all been, you see those? Let's go back to that, I'll show you why I filmed that. See, that's all been twisted and bent over by somebody to create this arch. That hasn't grown like that by itself. And these have all been bent over as well, by the look of it. And that's a stick that's been, I call that a pole. You'll find a lot of those around. Sticks that have been stripped of all the side branches and just turned into a pole, like a spear. There's the road at the bottom, so I've got to the end of it now. And I just want to show you a few more things. If you think I'm making it up, then look at this. You see that? That is a pine tree that's upside down, leaned against this other tree here. Zoom in a little bit. See that? That's upside down. That's the bottom of the tree. That's the top. So that's been, I mean, the wind hasn't blown that there. The foresters, or whoever's responsible for maintaining this bit of woodland, they haven't put that there either. Little children haven't put that there. So that's an upside down tree, which people, that's an upside down tree which people in America supposedly find in areas where Bigfoot lives. And there's your rhododendron bushes right at the bottom. I have been down there. I'm going to go down there in a minute, you'll see. There's no Bigfoot hiding in there as far as I know. I don't think the Bigfoot lives here. I think if you watch Predator, the beginning of Predator, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, you see how Bigfoot gets around. He only comes to these places for hunting, for frolicking. He gets dropped off by a UFO because he's not a natural creature of the woodland. He's not an endangered species of ape. So this is inside the rhododendron bush, as you can see. The deer, they shelter inside there. Underneath it's all bare sort of earth, trampled down, and there's like little game trails going through it. You can see where they can get in and out. It's kind of hard for a human to get down and crouch through it, but a deer can easily slip through. And I think if a Bigfoot was living there, there's no way the deer would be choosing that spot to hide in. They'd be out of there and avoiding the place, but you can see there's hoofprints everywhere. They go there because they feel safe there. And here you can see the stream at the bottom and a big tree across the stream. And this is a rotten tree, and look, there's a stick stabbed into the rotten tree which has been picked apart looking for grubs. So this proves it's not squirrels breaking these trees apart looking for maggots. This is a tool using creatures. Some creatures. He's made one of those poles. He's put those there as well. who's made that pole as a digging stick to dig into that rotten tree trunk for maggots or insects. Okay, that's all I got for you today, guys. Yeah, I want to use my YouTube channel now as an advert, really, to draw people towards my Bitchute channel. I want people to look at this interview with Tim Coonbo Baker on Sawdust Beast channel on YouTube. This just came out on the 18th of June, 2 days ago, and in this video in this interview he says some very interesting things which I've talked about before, confirms all my suspicions about Tim Coonbo Baker. And he's quite open about it, quite open. He doesn't tell you everything, but I'll probably do a commentary on this on my Bitchute channel to avoid a copyright strike, because it's talking about religion and his ethnicity and all that stuff. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you over on Bitchute. And if you do come over to Bitchute, please leave a comment on one of my videos so that I know you're watching and that you've come over from YouTube and you're watching on Bitchute. I'm almost getting as many views on Bitchute now as I was on YouTube, so the message must be getting out. But leave me a message, because hardly anybody seems to leave comments in the comment section on Bitchute for whatever reason. Maybe they're watching and they haven't got channels, something like that. They want to hide their identity or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'll see you over on Bitchute, hopefully. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.